going on, boxing fans? It's your boy Pooh Kind of Boxing coming at you with another boxing video for the boxing heads and the boxing mind. Just wanted to talk about what I seen when I look at boxing right now, and I want to know what Terence Crawford was doing next, and who he was going to fight next. And we're a fan of all the fighters, right? But some boxing fans are not fans of all of boxing. They're fans of certain fighters, and they can't like two fighters at the same time. Especially if the two fighters are competing. So, when you have Errol Spence Jr., you have Terence Crawford, I think that is the biggest fight in boxing right now. I didn't want to see the Pacquiao fight, but Crawford is pretty much moving the way he wants to move, right? And people who support Bud Crawford don't care what he does. He's going to get that support from the people who only, who just supports him. But, Bud is moving sideways. If you're at 147 and you're not fighting Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, and Danny Garcia or Errol Spence Jr., if you're not fighting any of those guys and you're at Bud status and you're at Bud level, then, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? So this is where the conversation goes sideways, because the Bud Crawford camp is trying to change the conversation from what I just mentioned, but not fighting the top welterweights into something else, which is a deflection, right? So you supposedly, are a hater on Bud Crawford because you want to see him fight people, the top welterweights, at 147, right? So 2 years ago, when 2018, when before Bud signed, he had his contract ended, and he was able to sign up with anybody he wanted to. He could have been just a free agent and just took one fight deals or two fight deals. But Bud Crawford even said it himself. He could get those fights if he wanted to, right? So we're kind of like in a misinformation type of situation here, where they're not being honest. They're being disingenuous in the Bud Crawford camp, because everybody who's Bud fan back then, a big Bud fan, is like, please don't re-sign with Top Rank. We've seen Mikey Garcia, get put on the shelf for 2 years. We saw Floyd Mayweather leave Bob Arum because he wasn't promoting him the same way he was doing other fighters with De La Hoya over Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather took a back seat to De La Hoya because he was the golden boy back then, just like Terence Crawford taking the back seat to Lomachenko and Tyson Fury. So we are saying these things in Bud Crawford's favor for him to leave Top Rank 2 years ago, and then Bud took a look at the people who were supporting him and was like, fuck y'all, right? He looked at everybody who supported him, and he went and re-signed with Top Rank. Okay, it's your career. You are the fighter, we are the fans, so you do what you want to do, for whatever reasons. And so, but even though nobody is asking the Crawford camp, or we're not trying to control the Crawford camp, we just know that all his competition is over at the PBC, who we want to see him fight. Okay? So you just heard what I said. But they're not gonna say this. They're gonna say that you're some kind of sycophant for Errol Spence Jr. They're gonna try to deflect from what I just said. So you go sign where there's no 1 in 47 top opponents, right? You go sign where you could go fight Jose Benavidez, Aegis Kavanakas, and you go fight these guys. So, but everybody else is hating on you because we want to see you fight the Sean Porters, the Keith Thurmans, the top of the division. So I guess his camp was like, hey, we're gonna do what we want to do. Damn everybody else for the next, 2-3 years. But everybody told you that this was going to happen. That Errol Spence Jr. was going to fight these top guys, the Danny Garcias, the Keith Thurmans, the Sean Porters, the people who are at the top of the divisions, the people who held the belts in the division. Okay, this is what we mean by the top welterweights. So don't let people question you about what top welterweights you talk about he fought. See, that's that bullshit right there. That's that bullshit. You can't argue with people who don't agree to the same set of facts, and they know that. So they use a lot of bullshit tactics. You know what I'm saying? To get you out to deflect and just make a bunch of mess of the conversation. That's what I mean by muddying the waters, right? So when you talk about the facts, he has no standing. So everybody's a bitch ass nigga now. So all of a sudden, everybody is this and that. Everybody, wearing Errol Spence drawers and shit. All this kind of bullshit. We get away from talking to boxing. You know why? Because you are the loser. You are a loser, right? You don't want to talk facts. You want to talk a lot of bullshit because you're a loser. And then here we are 2 years later. You're saying the same thing that fans have been saying who's supporting Terence Crawford. You saying the same thing. We're dealing with a disgruntled promotional company, and it's like, it's like, nigga, really? It's like, really? You really just finally, like they finally get it. It's like, the short bus, motherfuckers, like, dude, you mean you really gonna come out your mouth talking about something 2 years later, talking about we're dealing with a disgruntled promotional company? Like, dude, and it's almost like the people who follow Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? It's like they know what's real, but they're gonna deflect. They're gonna reflect because the reality don't support the dumb shit that they're doing, right? So they're gonna deflect and act like they don't understand. They're gonna try to insult and muddy the water because the reality is, you messed up your career knowing this dude didn't have your best intentions. He just didn't have your best interest at heart. And you went ahead and re-signed with him anyway. And that just shows a lack of intelligence. Shows a lack of intelligence, man. From his camp, all you hear is just gutter sewer nonsense. This total nonsense. This total unmanly hating on Errol Spence Jr. because he won the chess game. If this was a game of chess, Errol Spence just won 10 games because he got a shot at the belts. He got Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And then that's another thing with the Manny Pacquiao situation. They keep saying they wasn't chasing Pacquiao. But dude, how you gonna tell boxing heads who've been watching Bud Crawford try to get this fight for the last 7 years? He pursues it and he deals with everything that Manny Pacquiao just puts him on hold. He never has a bad word towards Manny Pacquiao. Not one bad word towards Manny Pacquiao. Now this how you know that you're dealing with some really brainwashed slavery mentality type shit. Okay, so Manny Pacquiao don't return any calls. He don't call your name out. You know what I'm saying? He's asking for, he's talking to Bob, or in the media, he's asking for stupid money, and you willing to take it, 80-20. You willing to take 80-20 and all the bullshit that comes with it, and he still don't acknowledge you. Okay, you get in, you start talking to Errol Spence about the fight, and he's disrespectful. He's disrespectful because you haven't fought nobody in the weight class to deserve 50%. Spence been asking you to fight for 60-40 for the longest time. But again, they try to deflect. They try to deflect. They try to mischaracterize everything Errol Spence says because the reality don't support them. It's just like when you're a kid and you get into an argument with your sibling, and you start talking shit, and it's just nothing ever gets resolved because nobody is really listening to the other side. You just a bunch of insults and just a bunch of gutter talk, and that's what they're doing. That's what their whole camp is about. That's why they can't get the big fights, because they're unprofessional. They're unprofessional. It's like who in the world? What? Look at Al Heyman. Look how they run a tight ship over there. Look at how Errol Spence Jr. is getting the fights. Look how he's getting promoted. Look at how the people around him act. Derek James, Jamel Charlo. Look at everybody that's around them. Do you see them going, spreading false rumors, making an environment of toxicity? You know what I'm saying? Trying to manipulate others to say, trying to generate a lot of hate for Terence Crawford. Do you see that? Do you see that? No, they keep it boxing. They're not calling him a drunk or paying trolls to call Errol Spence a drunk. Hey, see, you can say these things, but we're grown, bro. Only children care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? We care about the fighting in the ring. Nobody cares about the little high school hate that y'all got going on. Because that's why you can't get Manny Pacquiao. That's why you can't get the big fights, because you're unprofessional. You acting like gutter street ghetto people. People see this. The people who, the teams that are, with the contracts and the networks, they see what you're saying online. They see how you're acting. They see the character, and you're acting like stupid ghetto hood sewer rats. And that's why you're not gonna get the fights, because nobody wants to be associated. When we talking about multi-millions, business deals here. I'm talking about contracts, talking about TV rights. We're talking about pay-per-view. We're talking about big numbers. You think they're gonna let a bunch of ghetto, stupid, ignorant, childish, idiots, what I'm saying, get up there on TV and embarrass, a network, advertisers, and you just mess up all that, by calling people gay and just saying a bunch of stupid nonsense because you a loser, right? You're a goddamn loser, and you hang out with people of low character. If you look at anybody that hangs out with Errol Spence Jr., they're respectful. Have you ever heard Errol Spence Jr. call Terence Crawford out his name or anybody in his camp? No, because he's successful. When you're successful and you're doing what you you doing what you need to do in life. You don't have time to hate on nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got time to hate on nobody. You got to move forward. And what I see is people with a whole lot of time. People who ain't even in their purpose or doing what they supposed to do. So that's why you have a lot of black women turn their backs on these dudes. They're surviving off of Terence Crawford. So they're gonna do what they gotta do to burn a paycheck to hate on Errol Spence Jr. So what woman gonna look at men that hate on other men to try to look good, to make Terence Crawford look good? I mean, you don't have your own star power. I mean, everything you hear about Terence Crawford, you got to hear about Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. fighting Manny Pacquiao. Who is Terence Crawford fighting? I mean, just ask yourself that. Let's just die down the noise, right? Who is Terence Crawford fighting? He haven't fought in a year. Haven't fought in a whole year. Errol Spence Jr. just had a car crash in between the Sean Porter fight. He had a car crash. He was out 14 months. And then he fought Danny Garcia, right? Who was Terence Crawford fighting? After all that Errol just went through, who was Terence Crawford fighting? Well, they can't really, deal with the reality of it. So, Errol Spence Jr. is this and that. But Bob Arum is the one who's destroying your career. So you don't hear nothing about that. So Manny Pacquiao didn't give him the fight. Don't hear nothing about Manny Pacquiao, right? Bob Arum is the one who's destroying your career. You don't hear nothing about Bob Arum. But who do you hear all the hate and vitriol towards? You hear it towards Errol Spence Jr. So if that's not the slave mentality, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. If that's not that old kept slave shit, I don't know what to tell you. Manny Pacquiao, he ain't gonna say nothing about it. Even though he haven't given him the fight, he's taking most money if he in negotiation, and he's down with that. Bob Arum, he killed the Manny Pacquiao fight, told him. Saying he ain't worth the money. Say he could buy a house in Beverly Hills, then put money on a Crawford fight. Bruh, man, they need to be quiet. They need to be quiet instead of just spreading these lies and just going against reality, bro. Where is the shame? Where's the shame, bro? It's like you need to be quiet. Because you look like a whole Uncle Tom Sambo. I know you want to twist it like you hustling the system, but no, this man is fronting on you, Bob Arum. Manny Pacquiao ain't pay you no mind, but Errol Spence is the problem. Man, if this ain't the biggest Uncle Ben looking ass people, the most backward slavery mentality shit I ever seen. That's why I can't back they camp. I don't like their character. I think they're trash. I think they're all trash. And I think they go to the lowest denominator because the reality don't support what they're saying. So they're willing to say anything. They're willing to insult anybody because they have nothing to stand on. So they're gonna call Errol Spence all out his name. It's like it's misplaced anger. Why don't you call Bob Arum? Why don't you call Manny Pacquiao? People who actually screwed you out of stuff. All Errol Spence doing is winning. All he doing is fighting the best in the division. All he did was take Manny Pacquiao because y'all are too ignorant, too stupid, too ghetto to get the fight. You're too ignorant. You're too dumb to get the fight. Or you're gonna get on instead of fighting Pacquiao, you want to get on your internet and talk shit about Errol Spence Jr., right? Like some little schoolgirls, that's hating on like they, you know what they remind you of? Like Atlanta Housewives, that kind of shit. Some kind of reality TV show, where they over there just in their little pity party, their little church of hate. And meanwhile, this man is going on about his career, successful, gaining belts, and doing what boxing heads want to see. So it's just kind of pathetic, a bunch of unmanly stuff that's going on over there, and it's like, wow, just to see it, I just never thought that, I never thought black men would act like that. I mean, I've been around for a long time, and I've never seen men openly, act like bitches, to tell you the truth. I just never seen that before. And, I be arguing with my old lady sometimes. She said, men act like bitches too. And now I see. She's right and I was wrong. It don't matter. So, these young men, they lost a lot of masculinity, and they acting, they look, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. And, I hope, Terence Crawford get his shit together. Maybe he'll go to the PBC and he'll be able to get these fights. But that's his man shit, It ain't about being on no side, bro. It's about being a fan of boxing. Because once Terence Crawford finishes his career, boxing will still be here, right? But for some, I guess they're going to retire with Terence Crawford. Or maybe they'll get on somebody else's bandwagon. It'll be the same thing. Where, where they'll just hate on their rivals and make up shit and, and just be a fan of that one fighter. So, I just wanted to address that, man. Smash the like button. You know what I'm saying? And subscribe to my channel if you like my content. And it's just getting out of control, man. It's beyond boxing. And this has been Pool Counter Boxing. And I come at you with another one, man. See you next time.